from bad to worse.
That's what it sounds like.
Snow making way for freezing rain, bringing down trees and putting hundreds of thousands of people in the dark. Now the dangerous cold sets in. Fox 17 News Winter Storm team coverage starts now.
Middle Tennessee's only primetime news. This is Fox 17 News at 9, your Code Red station.
Well, a historic storm, to say the least. Hundreds of thousands of people without power tonight. Freezing rain, ice, and now it's all on top of snow. And of course, it's just in time for that dangerous cold to settle in. Fox 17 News has team coverage this evening of the winter storm that has moved through. And I will tell you what, the cold is settling in tonight. That is for certain. And you can see that we still have flurries flying around. But yes, the storm has moved out for tonight. The unfortunate thing is going to be the duration of the cold that we are going to face for the week ahead. But I do want to start off with the radar to give you an idea of where this system is now. So it is tracking to the east, still a large storm system impacting the East Coast for tonight as it continues to drop freezing rain, sleet, and feet of snow up in New England. We will continue to see these flurries fly for tonight, but will not amount to anything as far as accumulation goes. But I will tell you that although we are looking at very dangerous conditions as we head through the next several days and even overnights, there is some kind of serene feeling or calm feeling out here. Very quiet for tonight as well. Something we will have to watch for, though, are the winds. I do expect them to pick up as we head into Monday. We take a look at the power outage map. This is a look at still about 200,000 people in Davidson County alone, Metro Nashville, without power. Hit hard this morning from hours of rain. In fact, we set a new daily record rainfall of 1.92 inches of rain today. A lot of Metro Nashville and all of Middle Tennessee seeing at least a quarter of an inch of ice, but where we're really seeing that impact, it has been about a half inch and in some spots up to 3/4 of an inch of ice. And as I mentioned, the winds are really going to be a problem for us as we head through the overnight hours here. So that is something that we will be tracking here coming up in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast. And of course, how long the ice is expected to stick around on these roads, expecting pretty dangerous travel for tomorrow. We will have all that for you coming up in your Fox 17 News Code Red forecast. Scott?
Katie, thank you. Now, icy conditions, no power, brutal temperatures. You touched on it. That's what people in Montgomery County are up against tonight. And Fox 17 News, Madeline Nolan's live in Clarksville. The word on current conditions.
Yes, Scott, we still have the snow kind of falling here in Clarksville, and that is something that we've been lucky in seeing is some more snow compared to other areas in our viewing area. But one thing is for certain that these linemen are out there working around the clock, making sure that they can get power restored for a lot of people in the area, and that is for both the Cumberland Electric as well as CDE Light Band here in Clarksville. Now, one thing they have to go up against is these conditions. And I'm talking a lot of ice on these trees. It honestly just very thick ice, which has caused, a lot of problems. And when that happens, it does create sort of I guess it weighs these trees down and then of course falls onto power poles, and that's something that they would have to deal with. So before anything, they have to clear all of this debris and then they can go in and do these repairs. Now, if you take a look at your screens, you'll be able to see some of this video of these linemen doing work across Tennessee and across here in Clarksville. Now, the ice, the cold, and slippery roads definitely make it an already hard and tough job even harder. Cumberland Electric tells me that this could turn into a multi-day restoration event for some of their customers. And for a lot of people, this storm caught them off guard, sending them out on these roads, trying to check on family, and even finding supplies.
My mom and dad lost power, actually. I'm on my way over to their house right now. I have a backup generator I'm going to bring to them. And some food as well.
I guess we weren't prepared for the power outages, but prepared otherwise, food and stuff like that.
Roads are a little bit more icy than I figured they would be. Be nice if we get some snow on top of this ice.
And speaking of roads, they've definitely only gotten worse today with the continued sleet and freezing rain. Like I mentioned before, we do have a little bit of that snow, but temperatures are not helping any of this ice melt. It felt like really every other minute we were watching cars kind of slip and slide, with some getting stuck in pockets of ice and snow. And tomorrow, as you guys heard from our Code Red meteorologist, and we have been saying it all day, these temperatures are only going to drop. I actually brought my thermometer gun out here just to show you how cold some of these branches are. So if I kind of point at it here, we can show you 15. I mean, you can get into here 9 degrees Fahrenheit, 8 degrees Fahrenheit. That is just insane numbers right there. And really, again, like I said, it's only going to get worse overnight. One thing is for certain, that Clarksville is going to be shut down to make sure that first responders as well as these linemen can do their jobs and get everyone restored. Reporting live here in Clarksville, I'm Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Madeline, thank you. At its peak, more than 230,000 NES customers were without power today. Freezing rain coating the trees, as Madeline was describing, which fell onto power lines, causing the trouble. Fox 17 News' Amanda Chen in East Nashville tonight, where trees continue to fall.
Well, Midtown Nashville also got hit hard. You can take a look behind me and see what we're looking at right now. You can see this tree here with downed branches, just how impactful that freezing rain was. If you take a look here, I'm going to pull it up just to show you. It is so heavy to pull up, and that shows you just how thick these icicles are on this tree, and it could even get worse overnight. At one point on Sunday, Nashville Electric Service reported almost half of its customers lost power. NES has been working around the clock to fix dozens of broken poles and distribution circuits across Nashville. Beginning on Monday, NES says it will have close to 300 line workers in the field, all focused on getting power back on for all customers. Now, as we were driving around, we saw many downed power lines, trees, and branches, all due to the freezing rain we received overnight. We spoke with a couple from East Nashville who tell us a tree totaled their car.
Yeah, it just sounded like a huge explosion, and we both woke up out of bed, and like he ran outside and I was grabbing stuff because we weren't sure if it was over the roof or anything like that. And thankfully our roof is okay, and 2 of our other cars were okay, but the one car didn't make it.
Now, the roads may look clear, but we've been seeing a lot of black ice on these roadways as we've been driving around all day. We'll show you what the road conditions are right now. Again, it looks clear, but actually when you're driving, there could be that very thin layer of ice. So you want to be careful. And you also want to be careful, especially driving at night, for those downed power lines. They may be really hard to see, which could potentially get worse overnight. So if you don't have to drive, don't go out and drive. Reporting in Nashville, I'm Amanda Chen, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Amanda, thank you. During this winter storm, new information continues to come into the Fox 17 newsroom. Unfortunately, we know that this storm is now a proven killer. 3 people have died over in West Tennessee. None of those deaths are in our immediate area, but our thoughts and prayers are with those families tonight. Those deaths in Hobion County, Crockett County, Haywood counties, again over in West Tennessee. Tennessee right now in a state of emergency, which will open the door for potentially more resources to be used to help those who are impacted. Statewide, more than 300,000 people have lost power. The Tennessee Valley Authority says unlike back in 2022, when we had a big rolling blackout that affected a lot of folks, the power grid remains stable.
It lights it.
In Donelson, ice creating coated trees, snapping trees, falling without warning. How neighbors are banding together to clear up messes like this. Trees continue to come down across Middle Tennessee, in some cases falling on homes and others bringing down power lines and like this blocking roads. Fox 17 News' Chris Knowles in Donelson today, where he experienced a close call. Take a look.
Right now we're standing off of Dale Rose Drive, and this is not too far off of Lebanon Pike, near the Lebanon Pike Bradley Parkway interchange, about 2 miles from Opry Mills. And as you can see behind me, a lot of these trees are filled with ice, and the weight of the ice is causing them to fall. And that weight almost caused a tree to collapse right on top of us.
It lights it.
Neighbors in the Donelson Hills community say that crackling sound, the sound that you just heard, has been nonstop all morning.
Like every 10 minutes, it sounds like there's another big limb crashing to the ground.
Slushy and slick roads are expected to turn into sheets of ice. Trees are stretched across streets, and thousands of homes are without power. Neighbors here call this storm a first of its kind.
We lived here almost 20 years, and this is the worst.
I can't remember one this bad, this much ice.
For the Faircloth family, there's even more pressure. They just brought home their newborn, and now they're caring for him in the dark.
So we just came home with him yesterday. I didn't have time to prepare for this, and then the power goes out at 7 a.m. this morning, so just trying to keep him warm and fed is our main priority right now.
Despite the dangerous conditions, neighbors say community is what's getting them through this.
One neighbor comes out and starts looking at tree branches that needs to be taken off the road, and we all just come out. I think we probably had about 10 guys out here.
Reporting in Donelson, I'm Chris Knowles, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
As we continue our team coverage of this winter storm, I've got some video here illustrating why emergency officials are urging folks to stay off the road. This is the T-Dot snowplow that slid off Long Hollow Pike just outside the Goodlettsville city limits today. Took a couple of big wreckers to pull it back off the guardrail and get it on the road again. Now, that same area also had a lot of downed trees and some power lines. Thousands of people along Long Hollow Pike between Goodlettsville and Gallatin. Among those waiting for the power to come back on tonight, those who had a tree down with just the supply line to their house. Like this situation, these folks will be waiting a while longer for service to be restored because they hit the big areas first. Well, waiting for the power to come back on in Williamson County. Just ahead, how people in and around Franklin are staying warm tonight. And millions of people braving the winter storm across the country as well. The large amount of snow already on the ground in some states.
My hair was terrible yesterday. Kelly, mic check, Kelly.
Check, 1, 2, 3. This is Hope's mic check. How far until I'm on the show?
storm of 2026 will certainly go down as one of the most significant outage events that we have faced in our 90-year history.
That's saying something. The damage from this winter storm continues to be felt across Williamson County as well. Thousands of people there are without power tonight this hour. That means likely no heat. Middle Tennessee Electric reporting 23,000 customers lost power there at the height of the storm. That's just their customers. Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino live tonight in Franklin, one of the hardest hit areas in Williamson County. Kelly, what are you seeing?
Scott, absolutely everything, or nearly everything you see outside is covered in ice, like this ice-coated tree here that was so weighed down by the weight of these icicles, it crashed on top of 3 vehicles in a row. These people were parked right outside their homes and their apartments, and I can tell you the problems don't end there. I just checked my phone. It is 14 degrees outside, and there are about 9,000 people in this immediate area who don't have any power and potentially no heat as well. The storm moved out but left behind ice wrapped around every inch of Williamson County, taking out trees, power lines, and heat, especially in Franklin and south of the Fairview area. Middle Tennessee Electric CEO Chris Jones didn't hold back on reality.
We are not going to be able to restore power to everyone within 24 hours, as much as we want to, and as hard as we've been working.
Now the struggle for thousands like Keith Cicito, whose home is down to 45 degrees, is finding warmth.
My power's been out about 4.5 to 5 hours, and as I started packing up my stuff to go to the garage, I heard something crack.
That crack was this tree toppling across his street, blocking Keith's way to his relatives who still have power.
There was no way I was going to be able to drive, so I decided just to pack my stuff and walk.
How long of a walk?
45 minutes.
So the term for this particular storm probably isn't snowed in. You'd probably say iced in or treed in. These 3 cars here are totally trapped by a tree where every single branch is encapsulated in ice.
TBM Tree Service has worked non-stop with a barrage of calls to remove limbs, some right through the windshield.
Got 6 or 7 after this job to go to. It'll be throughout the night work.
MTE says they've got some 600 crew members working 24/7 with contractors to restore power. But as this ice persists in frigid temperatures for several more days, more outages can be expected.
We're seeing situations, for example, when a crew completes a restoration and as they drive away, as they look in the rearview mirror, they see trees falling to bring the same sets of lines down.
And at this point, Williamson County has opened up 2 warming shelters, one at Franklin High School, another at Fairview High School. All residents are welcome, as well as cats and dogs. You do need to have them on a leash or in a crate, and they advise you to please bring food if you can. I'm Kelly Avellino in Franklin for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Kelly, thank you. Continuing our winter coverage now as Interstate 40 east and westbound in Putnam County are closed right now. Fox 17 News' Hope Salmon is live in Cookeville with the latest on the dangerous conditions there.
Scott, it was a lot better earlier today. There was a little bit of rain, and then all of that rain completely froze over, and it's so hard to see all of the black ice. We want to give you a look here at the trooper that is blocking the road there that gets you onto I-40 on that ramp. They say that there is a multiple vehicle pileup. Putnam County Emergency Services tell me westbound lanes are now open, but the eastbound lanes are closed for at least about another hour or so. And like I said, everything seemed like it was getting a lot better all throughout the day today. The rain kind of washed all of that ice and the snow that we were talking about last night. And then within the last few hours, all of it froze over, and it is so hard to see. I want to give you an idea of what that looks like. I don't have a hockey puck in my purse. I have a lot of things. Not that, but I do have a blush bottle, or blush little container. I'm going to see if I can slide it across without getting too far. And let's see. You have it, Jared, and my photographer? Okay. So, I mean, that's my best try, but it really is slippery out here, and we've seen people fall. We have seen cars kind of slipping in the road, so make sure that you are safe if you are driving out here at night. Reporting live in Cookeville, or excuse me, yes, Cookeville. Hope Salmon, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Oh, thank you. It's been that kind of weekend. Where am I? What's going on? Because the story keeps changing, although now at least the system has moved through and we're getting, I guess, the third phase, bitter cold.
It's the lingering impacts that we're going to face. And unfortunately, with this bitter cold, they're not going anywhere anytime soon. You know, we're not as used to this prolonged amount of extreme cold. Yeah, we get these cold spells every now and then, but a lot of times it'll be 2-3 days and then we will warm up and things will melt. This does not look to be the case this go around. I think we will be lucky to reach freezing on Tuesday, and that'll be it for the week. The rest of the week is below freezing, unfortunately, and not only below, but well below freezing. Light snow showers with little to no accumulation. You kind of saw a few flurries there in the various live shots that we've had. That will continue through the overnight, but little to no accumulation. What I am a little concerned about is the potential for a few wind gusts as we go through the evening hours. Wind gusts up to 20 miles per hour could mean a couple more power outages, so can't rule that out completely. They're not going to be overall real great gusts, but sustained winds about 10 to 15 miles per hour, and again, those gusts up to 20. Does not take much, though, when you've got the extra weight of the ice on those tree branches. Here's a look at our temperatures right now, and boy, what a change. Our eastern counties toward the plateau today did climb well above freezing. That's what's left of the well above freezing now that we're cooling down more. Knoxville sitting at 31, compare that to our 12. So that line started right about there today. And of course, as the front continues to work its way through Tennessee, we are all looking at some serious cold for tonight. And again, hundreds of thousands still without power this evening. Cold weather advisory in effect. This is midnight through 6 p.m. Monday. We are looking at wind chills as low as 5 below zero. So let's walk you through that. And even in the afternoon hours, we're not going to feel much better. So we take you through tomorrow morning here, anywhere between 5 to 10, possibly 15 below zero up towards Clarksville and Hopkinsville, 5 below in Nashville. Area wide, it is downright cold. Then we get into the afternoon with highs topping off in the low to mid-teens for the day. Our wind chills, although a light wind, will still only feel close to zero. And then as we head into Monday evening, here we go again. We are looking at those wind chill values once again, 5 to about 10 degrees below zero. Now, good news is we'll warm up slightly as we head towards the end of the week, but it is still going to be quite cold with highs in the 20s for the afternoon. So again, what we have on the ground right now, that ice is not going anywhere. We'll talk more about the impacts that will continue to linger, how early February looks, if there is a warm up in our sight, all coming up. Scott.
Thank you, Katie. Also ahead, a helping hand, the driver who has some of the men in blue to thank for getting his stuck car moving again. And if misery loves company, we've got it. The problems this winter storm is causing in other parts of the country. You're watching Fox 17 News at 9. Police officers in Louisville, Kentucky coming to the rescue of a man in a really nice car, BMW, stuck in the snow. The department posted this video on X with a comment that said, "Sir, you shouldn't be out here." And you know it. If you heard that engine revving as they were trying to push him, you know this person did not have a lot of experience driving in the snow. As we continue our team coverage of this massive winter storm that's impacting now more than 200 million people across the country, the biggest problem for many tonight, like here, accumulating ice that took down trees and power lines, and snow that all but stopped travel in many areas. A monster winter storm stretching from Texas to Maine, complicating travel. More than 200 million people are under winter storm alerts, and many states have declared states of emergency. Like Tennessee, Washington, D.C. got a mix of snow and sleet.
It's switched over to sleet, which is going to compact the snow, make it a little bit denser, which is harder to push.
Parts of the Northeast could see up to 2 feet of snow by Monday. New York City is expecting more than a foot.
It is brutal, it is bone-chilling, and it is dangerous.
Brutal conditions caused stretches of interstates to be shut down. In Oklahoma, the governor says parts of his state got 11 inches of snow.
We got more in a 24-hour period than we've ever had in the last, I think, like 40 years.
In other parts of the country, it's the ice and bitter cold causing concern. A water main break near Charlotte, North Carolina, covered the street and power lines with ice. We saw a lot of that in Tennessee as well.
Completely frozen.
The other big concern, frigid temperatures making it hard on both man and machine.
When you get down that cold, the steel in the shocks and stuff like that, it gets brittle and you can damage the vehicles.
Just ahead on Fox 17 News, Walking the Line, a live report on the linemen working to restore power in Clarksville. And East Nasty, how East Nashville residents are responding to a bitter night with no power.
Mic check 1 2 3. Mic check 1 2 3.
Our code red alert continues as we head through the evening hours tonight.
focus shifting more toward the extreme cold. And along with that, a bit of a breeze for the overnight hours as well, making those wind chills as low as 5 below. You can see kind of a snowy bank there along the Cumberland and Nissan Stadium. And then here's our Metro Center camera shot. The glowing light on top of our tower camera, reflecting light in the ice. These are all icicles on our camera there. I thought that was interesting. We take a look at our current power outages by the numbers, and we are still looking at over 160,000 people in Nashville or Davidson County without power, 26,000 in Sumner County, and 14,000 in Williamson County. There are still a lot of people, unfortunately, in the dark and in the cold for tonight. Now, in addition to that, if you don't have to get out tomorrow, it's better just to stay at home. You know the drill with these types of weather systems that move through, but especially with these types, freezing rain in particular, creating a sheet of ice, and especially given how cold it is, the roads are extremely treacherous as we go through tonight and into tomorrow, and really won't improve too much since temperatures are going to struggle this week. Here's a look at the high temperatures for tomorrow, only at 19. Now, I'm hopeful that a little bit of sunshine at least will help melt some of the ice on those roads. We're going to whittle away at it each day, but then at night we will refreeze. This is going to be a while before we can get rid of all of this ice that is packed in. We're also not talking about a nice fluffy snow that'll easily melt on those roadways. This is packed ice that is really just not going to go anywhere anytime soon. We'll talk more about what we can expect as we head more toward the weekend, how the beginning of February is looking. Are we looking at a warm up anytime soon? We'll have that in your Fox 17 Code Red forecast.
First responders asking people to stay off the roads over and over again. Scenes like this, why? Snow and ice creating dangerous conditions in and around Clarksville. Fox 17 News' Madeline Nolan now live in Montgomery County, where I understand the conditions are deteriorating.
Oh, absolutely. And I know Katie was just talking about that packed ice on this snow. Now, of course, here in Clarksville, we got quite a bit of snow compared to other places in the area, but still, these road conditions not looking good tonight, and they've just gotten much, much worse since the night has started to, of course, get dark out here. Now, I do have right here with me, and I want to do it real quick, this temperature gun, and we're going to show you real quick just how cold the ground is. 9 degrees if you take a look there, 8 degrees. Sometimes it keeps falling the longer that you have it on there. But one thing is for certain, these roads you definitely do not want to travel on. Just take a look, completely covered, blanketed snow and ice here, very compact ice that is definitely causing some issues for drivers along the roads. One thing we noticed today, more people out on the roads than yesterday, but I want you guys to take a look at this video here. Cars getting stuck left and right, struggling to get through this thick ice and snow patches. Now, there's a reason that so many people were out here. A lot of folks actually lost power. That meant that some people had to get out here, get groceries that they did not expect to need or check on family and friends. But a big concern that we heard over and over today is people just don't know how long this is going to last.
You kind of want the street to thaw out a little bit. Nobody's going to be able to go anywhere for a while. So we need that sun to come out. That's our best friend.
And tonight, only a few left without power. CDE has done a fantastic job at restoring power to most, if not all, of their customers tonight. Cumberland Electric has also been busy as well and reports most outages now are going to be over there in Sumner County. However, one thing that we are seeing over and over again is the fact that people have spotty internet service here and are definitely reporting some issues with Spectrum and that internet provider there. But that is something that we're going to continue to follow there and see if that kind of gets better over the next few days. But we're going to be out here in Clarksville tomorrow as well. So for now, reporting live in Clarksville, I'm Madeline Nolan, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
More than 200,000 people were without power earlier today in Nashville. The number now down to about 185,000. Now, one of the areas seeing a lot of outages, East Nashville. Fox 17 News' Amanda Chen here to show us what people there are up against this evening.
Now it even got bad here in Midtown Nashville. Just look behind me and you'll see it for yourself. Look at this humongous tree right here with the branches all broken off. And even if you take a look closer and feel just how heavy this is, you understand how this happened with that freezing rain. And even that tree branch, it's about to fall on the other side, and this could all get worse overnight. At one point on Sunday, Nashville Electric Service reported almost half of its customers lost power. NES has been working around the clock to fix dozens of broken poles and distribution circuits across Nashville. Beginning on Monday, NES says it will have close to 300 line workers in the field, all focused on getting power back on for all customers. Now, as we were driving around, we saw many downed power lines, trees, and branches, all due to that freezing rain we received overnight. We even spoke with a Nashville resident who talks about the impact right near his apartment.
So when I woke up this morning, there were a couple of trees outside the apartment that had begun to ice over. A couple of them were starting to fall. Most of them had split in the parking lot out here. It fell into a lot of the lot that it was across from the apartment.
Now the roads may look clear, but we've been seeing a lot of black ice on these roadways as we've been driving around all day. We'll show you what the road conditions are right now. Again, it looks clear, but actually when you're driving, there could be that very thin layer of ice. So you want to be careful. And you also want to be careful, especially driving at night, for those downed power lines. They may be really hard to see, which could potentially get worse overnight. So if you don't have to drive, don't go out and drive. Reporting in Nashville, I'm Amanda Chin, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
A relentless winter storm hitting Middle Tennessee, causing chaos on our roads and beyond. Just ahead, how Tennessee state troopers are stepping up to assist stranded motorists. Continuing coverage of this dangerous winter storm now, causing quite a mess on our roads. If you haven't been out, take our word for it. The Tennessee Highway Patrol has troopers out there working around the clock, trying to help drivers who get stranded, and there have been a lot of them. THP responded to hundreds of incidents since yesterday. Troopers helped stranded drivers. They helped to clean roadway hazards like fallen trees, things like that. They responded also to 36 injury crashes. THP Colonel Matt Perry urging drivers, as you've heard from so many others, to stay home if possible. Continuing coverage on the impact of the winter storm. They're calling it Fern over in Williamson County. A lot of power out there. Why one of the biggest power companies in the area says this is one of the worst storms in 90 years. And dangerous conditions shutting down a stretch of interstate on the Cumberland Plateau. The hazards that drivers are facing in Putnam County tonight.
In this case, it's 3 cars in a row right in front of an apartment complex.
Check, check, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, check, check. Good. This is Hope's mic check, Hope's mic check, mic check.
Weather-wise, we have been through it, you have been through it, and unfortunately we're about to go through something else for days.
Yeah, the cold is going to be with us for a while, I'm afraid. This is something that, again, typically we'll get a day or two of it, and then it warms up and things will start to melt. I don't see good relief anytime soon. We'll just say that. Unfortunately, this is going to be cold, and not just, 30 degrees, 31 degrees cold. This is going to be 20s and single-digit lows kind of cold for several days here. Live look from our Nissan Stadium camera. Again, things are looking pretty, at least from the camera. But again, we are going to be quite cold as we head through the evening hours. The storm system continues to clear, and we'll be left with a few flurries. We've seen some flurries in and around some of our live shots, and we'll see some of those through the overnight. They will not accumulate, so we're not concerned about any more snowfall. Monday, temperatures in the teens for much of the afternoon, mainly sunny skies, and again, a bit of a breeze will add the wind chill values as low as 5 below tomorrow. On Tuesday, we're looking at an extreme cold warning, so we're going to add another 10 or 5 degrees at least, so 5 to 10 degrees below average will be those wind chills. Now, it is so cold out there, and we saw a lot of moisture. In fact, we had a record daily rainfall of 1.92 inches of rain here in Nashville. Over the next couple of days, if it's not trees that are falling, you may hear a couple loud booms every now and then. After a rain or a snow that has a lot of moisture with it, water is absorbed into the ground. When it's extremely cold, water in the ground will quickly freeze and then it expands. And when it does so, it can crash and have loud booms or bangs, or as my boys would say, wow, a crash. That's what they say. But anyways, if you hear these sort of rumbles or loud bangs, I had a question about this the other night, which is the reason why I brought these up. It's called an ice quake. Could be possible the next couple of days. Several days to say that here. This is the 6 to 10 day outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, staying well below average. And this takes us from the 2nd of February through the 8th. So looking into the beginning of February, this very cold weather looks to continue. Flip side is true. If you're just done with it, you can fly to the West Coast. Maybe a couple days after all these delays, I'm sure will continue for a few days at least, but you can head to California. It'll be a little warmer. 6 to 10 day precipitation outlook at this point looks fairly dry, but we'll have at least the potential, I would say, for a mix of a couple chances for showers, but also pretty cold conditions here. Can't completely rule out winter weather, but I don't see anything big on the horizon. We'll keep it quiet as we head through the week ahead. But boy, real cold conditions, Scott, and those lows quite cold in single-digit territory.
Storm of 2026 will certainly go down as one of the most significant outage events that we have faced in our 90-year history.
You heard it, the ice storm being called one of the most severe, the power outage events in Middle Tennessee Electric's history. Thousands of people right now across Williamson County still without power tonight, and for a lot of those folks, it means they have no heat. Fox 17 News' Kelly Avellino live in Franklin, one of the hardest hit areas down there today. What else did you see today, Kelly?
Scott, nearly everywhere you went, you saw downed trees, downed power lines, and then whatever was beneath those trees and power lines. In this case, underneath this ice-covered tree, we've got 3 cars in a row. You can't even really make out the damage yet. They're so enveloped by this tree here. But I can tell you MTE is working around the clock to try to get the power back on to help the 9,000 people who right now are in the dark or don't have power and potentially don't have heat either. I spoke to MTE officials multiple times today, Middle Tennessee Electric. They've got about 600 crew members, if not more, working around the clock, including contractors, trying to restore the power. But this is why this round of an ice storm is so difficult. The continuing freezing temperatures. It is 13 degrees out right now. I just checked, and all of this ice is staying put, continuing to weigh down on power lines and trees. So as one outage is cleared, the next one pops up on the radar.
While we are restoring power to thousands of our members, at the same time we're restoring power, we're seeing more outages.
It's been a mess of a day, that's for sure. Non-stop, trees cracking, dangerous work.
Now, MTE's CEO posted earlier this evening, being very realistic with customers and saying, as hard as we're working, all of these outages will not be restored over the next 24 hours. It's going to take a few days. Williamson County has so far opened 2 warming shelters, one at Franklin High School, the other at Fairview High School. If you're a resident, you can go in. They ask you to bring food. You can even bring your dogs and cats, just have them in a leash or a crate. In Franklin, I'm Kelly Avellino for Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Kelly, thank you. As we continue our coverage, what a difference a few hours can make. Putnam County seemed fairly clear in terms of winter weather for a while, but now ice is shutting down Interstate 40. And Fox 17 News' Hope Salmon's live in Cookeville with the latest on that situation.
Scott, that's right. What a difference a few hours can make. Earlier today, it seemed like the roads were going to be clear. Yes, there was some rain, but other than that, all of that sleet and that slush and that ice that you were seeing last night out here, it was completely cleared. And then about 2.5 hours ago, all of whatever was on the ground froze over into black ice, and that caused a few pileups. If you take a look behind me, there is a trooper still blocking the road there, the I-40 ramp. There is a multiple vehicle pileup just a few miles down, and the Putnam County Emergency Services tell me the westbound lane is open, but the eastbound lane is still closed. And if we just pivot the camera to the road here, you can just see what I'm talking about when I say that black ice. Now there's some snow that's covering it for you to see exactly what is underneath, which is just a lot of slippery ice. You really don't want to be walking around here, driving around here at this time. I did speak to people from emergency management that are hoping that in the daylight some of that does melt, but I do have this blush container because I don't have a hockey puck in my purse, a lot of other things, and I'm just going to slide it down to kind of give you an idea of how slippery it is. So yeah, just imagine what walking or driving in a condition like that could be. And like I said, there are already crashes, so please do be careful if you do have to leave your house, and we will keep updating you as these conditions continue to change. For now, I'm reporting live in Cookeville. I'm Hope Salmon, Fox 17 News, your Code Red station.
Middle Tennessee is in the grip of a deep freeze. Monday morning, we're going to tell you about the impacts to the road, about those who may have lost power, and when the kids might be able to go back to class.
Finally tonight, take a look at this. Video transportation crews in Chattanooga doing their part to clear the downed trees that have fallen down on the roadway. And a big hats off tonight to all of our emergency responders and the power crews who are doing what they can to get us all back with lights. We're just, I guess we're soft. We're just not used to this.
I mean, and this is extreme weather that they're having to do this in too. Temperatures in the single digits, wind chills below zero tonight. Yeah, it's cold.
And it's dangerous work when the weather's nice.
Right, right. We are going to continue to see pretty cold conditions here as we go through the next several days. Really no relief in sight.
All right, that's our time. Thank you so much for being with us. Check out Fox 17 News this morning beginning at 4 a.m.
This was a Fox 17 News Code Red Weather Special Edition, sponsored by Sarah Chevrolet, Bard Durham Injury Law, and Frontier Foundation.